Hi everyone, today is Thursday, November 13th, and I am very excited because I just got a Scentsy delivery in the mail, and this is an order that I've been waiting for a little bit, so I am excited to jump in and share this haul with you. This was a party closeout, so I am going to share a few non-wax items first, and then I did pick up a bunch of new wax that I'm really excited to smell, and I have a few fun new warmers to share as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. So Scentsy did include a fall 2025 catalog. This is the reprint, and this one does include prices. So I think they realized that it was a mistake to send out catalogs without prices, and I'm glad that they decided to reprint the catalog. And then the only other non-wax item that I picked up in this order is a topper for the fall fairy tale mini pumpkin warmer. I'm actually going to use this on my petite pumpkin, which is orange and comes with kind of a dark bronze black lid. I just thought for November I would like a silver topper instead of that black topper. The black one just kind of leans a little bit more Halloween to me, and the silver one maybe just a little bit of a more neutral fall option. So I'll share how that looks. Here's the petite pumpkin with its original black lid, and here it is with the silver lid. And then let's go ahead and dive into the wax. So first up, I have the Scents of the Season wax collection, and I am very excited to smell these bars. So this does come with 5 bars, and the scent notes are included on the little card. It's in a very nice little velvety blue pouch here. So there are some that I am very intrigued by, and I can already smell kind of a bakery scent in here. And I think that it's probably coming from cranberry Christmas cake. So I am going to smell this one first. I think this will probably be my least favorite just because I don't tend to love bakery scents. So Scentsy says this is cranberry jam, ruby crystals, and creamy vanilla. Yeah, I definitely get that kind of cakey note. It kind of reminds me of the other, I think it was cranberry muffin. It smells a lot like that to me. I do get, this is hard to get out, I do get that kind of red cranberry note. It is bright and juicy, mixed with a nice vanilla cake scent. So I think if you like Scentsy's bakery scents, especially Scentsy's fruity bakery scents, you should definitely give this one a try. It reminds me a lot of cranberry muffin. All right, next up is Cabin Cuddles. Scentsy says this is bergamot, fresh mountain air, herbal lavender, and white sandalwood. So yeah, this is very masculine to me. It kind of smells like a clean cologne type scent. I definitely do get the bergamot and a lot of the lavender. This kind of just smells like one of Scentsy's run-of-the-mill cologne scents, which is a very nice, pleasant scent, but nothing super unique to me. But this one would be nice in like a bedroom or a bathroom, or maybe even an office or man cave. So I will warm that one. All right, next let's do Christmas Tree Farm. I've heard a lot about this one. Scentsy says Fraser fir, icy cool air, sparkling bergamot, and white moss. So there's that bergamot note again, but I tend to really like Scentsy's Christmas tree scents, so I'm excited to smell this one. Ooh, and I've heard a lot of people compare this to Around the Campfire, and there definitely is this kind of nice sweet smoky undertone to this. Ooh, this actually is a really nice kind of combination of that sweet embery smoky note from Around the Campfire with a little hint of kind of a fir note, very similar to the Christmas tree scent that's in Very Snowy Spruce, except much more subdued. Ooh, this is very sophisticated, very cozy. This smells kind of like you might be celebrating Christmas in a cabin in the woods. Very cozy with a nice fire going. This is unique and a little different for a Christmas tree scent. So that is really nice. All right, and next up is Sugared Peppermint Flurries. Scentsy says this is peppermint, sweet marshmallow, and sugar crystals, and I am very excited to smell this one because I usually do like Scentsy's sweet peppermint scents. And this is a very pretty pale blue. Ooh, this is soft, and this is not quite what I was expecting. So let me try to get this one out. These all are kind of tough to get out of the clamshells. Ooh, on the bottom, I get a lot more of that peppermint. This is a very sweet, fresh peppermint, and I really like the marshmallow note that's in this. It reminds me a little bit of like marshmallow mint, but that one is a lot more vanilla and creamy. This one is a little bit more, I'd say, outdoorsy, kind of fresh, but I think if you like scents like marshmallow mint, you will like this scent. I really like that marshmallow note. It smells like the little buttermints that you get that are pastel color. Ooh, I really like this. I would really enjoy this in a bedroom. It does smell a little on the lighter side, so I'm interested to see how the performance will be on this one, but this is very, very pleasant. Ooh, I like that one. All right, and then the last in the Scents of the Season kit is Sweet Christmas Lily. Scentsy says this is candied sugar, white lily, and pink amber, and I've also heard rave reviews about this one, so I'm very, very intrigued by this one as well. Ooh, this is light. This is a very pretty perfumey floral. Ooh, on the bottom I get a lot more of that kind of light, soft, perfumey floral note. This is very, very pleasant. It's not too heavy, it's not too powdery. It's light and fresh and really, really pretty. I think this would be beautiful in a bedroom. My friend Robin here on YouTube compared this to the Flower Bomb perfume, and I would definitely have to agree. I really like that perfume, but this does smell very similar. So if you tend to like kind of light, airy, floral, perfumey scents, this is definitely worth trying. I am very excited to try Sweet Christmas Lily. All right, so all in all, I really do like the Scents of the Season collection. I think Sugared Peppermint Flurries is my favorite on cold. I also really like Sweet Christmas Lily, so I'm excited to try those. Christmas Tree Farm, I think, will be a very nice, cozy scent for the winter. And then Cabin Cuddles is just not my favorite type of scent. I think if you like Scentsy's cologne scents, you'll definitely like this one. And it's not unpleasant by any means, it's just not my favorite. And then Cranberry Christmas Cake is also very nice if you like bakery scents. I don't tend to love bakery scents, so I might pass this one along, but all in all, a very solid collection. All right, another new wax collection that I am very excited to try is the new Wicked 3 Wax Bar Bundle. So this is in celebration of the new movie coming out, and this has 3 different scents: Pink Girl Perfection, Green Girl Power, and Friends for Good. And this is a very cute little green velvety bag. Super, super adorable. I'm very excited to try these scents. I'm also really excited for the new movie, so you'll have to let me know if you are planning on seeing Wicked Part 2. So let's start with Pink Girl Perfection. Scentsy says this is pink bubblegum, sugared strawberry, and citrus. Ooh, yes, this is very pink. I do get a lot of the bubblegum note, but it's mixed really well with the citrus. There's something very effervescent about this scent. It almost reminds me of that same kind of effervescent feel of something like blackcurrant bubbly. It's not as berry forward or heavy as blackcurrant bubbly, but I get that same kind of bubbly effervescence. And I think that is coming from the citrus note in this. This is really pleasant. I think if you like bubblegum scents, you should definitely give this one a try. And it is very, very pink, so very fitting. Next up is Green Girl Power. This is fresh greens, wild jasmine, and dark amber. And it's a light kind of apple green. So I'm getting a lot of amber. On the bottom, I'm getting a little bit more of the brightness from the fresh greens. but this is definitely kind of a perfumey scent. So I do get that combination of the jasmine and amber. It's coming off a little tiny bit like powdery, perfumey floral to me, but the fresh greens really do brighten it up. So this is actually very pleasant and I think fitting for an Elphaba scent. And I'm excited to try that one. So very nice. That's Green Girl Power. And then finally in this little collection is Friends for Good. And Scentsy says this is wild strawberry, hint of green, and vanilla orchid. So this is a pretty purple bar. And I think it's interesting that 2 of these scents have strawberry. So I'm excited to smell this. Ooh, this is light. This reminds me of something that we've had recently, and I'll have to think about it. This is very light. This is kind of a perfumey, kind of like background scent. The strawberry is not a very fruity strawberry. It's more of kind of just like a perfumey sweetness. But I think I do get a lot of that vanilla orchid. I get a little bit more of that punch of strawberry when I break it open. But this is just a nice kind of light, sweet, perfumey scent. This is really pleasant. I think this would be nice in a bedroom. I'm interested to see how it performs because it does smell like it will be pretty light, but that's a really nice little collection. So I think if you like Wicked, if you're excited for the new movie, this is definitely worth giving a try. All right, and I have a whole little box of other wax bars that I'm very excited to smell, so let me pull these out. All right, I do have a few stock ups from the catalog. So first is a new release this season. This is Lavender Woods, and Scentsy says the fragrance notes are amber, cedarwood, and lavender. And this is actually a very pleasant lavender. I am sometimes hit or miss on lavender scents, but this one is nice. To me, it's kind of like the fall or winter version of Coastal Sunset. It's that kind of woodsy, masculine, like almost coconutty lavender scent. I think that's probably coming from the amber, but the lavender is very nice. It's almost kind of like a soapy, herbal lavender. This is very pleasant in a bedroom or bathroom. I also have Wild Pine and Linen. Scentsy says this is crisp air, lavender, oak moss, and white pine. So another lavender scent. But this is a very nice combination of kind of a sweet, like Christmas tree note with a very fresh, kind of laundry cottony type scent. So this is very, very fresh. I think this would be wonderful in a laundry room, bathroom, bedroom, all through the fall and winter. If you're looking for something kind of outdoorsy and fresh without being too holiday heavy, this is a really, really good option. So that is Wild Pine and Linen. I also have a bar of Emerald Pear Blossom. This is Amber Blossom, White Cranberry, and Emerald Pear. So this is a very fruity scent. The pear note in this is very saturated, very rich, very sweet, but the cranberry kind of makes it a little bit more tart. So this is a very nice combination of tart cranberry and very sweet kind of syrupy pear. It's also kind of a nice departure from like the heavy fall and winter scents. This one is really, really pleasant and a good performer. I have a bar of Golden Sunflower Fields. Scentsy says this is Fields of Hay, fresh picked sunflowers, and red apple. So this definitely has that kind of like fresh fall outdoorsy note that Scentsy likes to do in scents like Autumn Road Trip and Golden Garland. So I definitely do get that from the Fields of Hay. There's a fresh sweetness from the red apple and just kind of like a background ambiance of floral with the sunflowers. This is a very well blended scent and a great scent to reach for in the fall if you're not looking for something super heavy or spicy. This is a really, really nice option. I also picked up 2 bars of sparkling spiced citrus. Scentsy says this is sparkling mandarin, dazzles among black currant, raw sugar cane, and a dash of clove bud. I have really, really been loving this fall season. This is a very fresh, sweet, juicy orange. I've said before that it reminds me of the orange that's in Oodles of Orange, but it's tempered with a little bit of this kind of fall mulling spice. It's not too heavy. If you're looking for something very clean and refreshing, I love this in my kitchen during the fall. You should definitely give sparkling spice citrus a try. I just can't get enough of this scent this season. And another scent that I can't get enough of this season is White Oak Woodland. Scentsy says this is white oak, creamy sandalwood, and velvet plum. This is my favorite of the new releases. This is just such a nice, pleasant scent for my like open concept living area. It's clean. You get a little bit of this kind of woodsiness, but there's also a very nice kind of bright fruitiness from the plum. It's a really, really interesting combination, and it really, really works. It just smells clean and fresh, almost like you just mopped wooden floors. I love this scent. It's not overbearing, but it definitely is a good performer in my house. I also really love this in the scent circles in my car, so I would highly recommend White Oak Woodland. From the Harvest collection, I picked up a bar of Moonlight Whisper. Scentsy says this is vanilla bean, sweet bourbon, and white oak. So this is very pleasant. This is a very kind of understated background scent. It is a little spicy with the bourbon, a little bit woodsy from the white oak. I do pick up a little, just a tiny hint of kind of a woodsy cinnamon, but this was really, really pleasant in our downstairs family room. It's not overbearing. The vanilla bean kind of sweetens it up a little bit and just makes it a really, really pleasant kind of background, spiced, woodsy, potpourri type scent. So I did enjoy this one from the Harvest collection. I also wanted to pick up a bar of the Apple Harvest Dreams, but it had actually gone out of stock, so I will have to pick that up in a club order. And then I picked up a few scents of the month. So this was October's scent of the month, Have S'more Pumpkin. Scentsy says this is caramel, pumpkin spice, and vanilla marshmallow, and I haven't smelled this yet. I'm a little hesitant because I don't usually love caramel scents, but I did want to give it a try. Yeah, this is pretty caramel forward for me. I like the bottom a little bit more. I get a little bit more of that pumpkin spice with a little like sweetness from the vanilla marshmallow. I do get kind of a squashy pumpkin note with a lot of that kind of deep, sweet richness from the caramel. It's not horrible. I just don't think this would be a repurchase for me. I do tend to prefer kind of the lighter, sweeter pumpkin scents like Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. I really like that one. This one is just a few notes heavier to me with the caramel and a little too like syrupy sweet. But I can see how if you liked bakery scents, that this one would be a very nice kind of pleasant, sweet pumpkin bakery. So that is Have S'more Pumpkin. All right, and then the scent of the month for November is Cocoa Cashmere. Scentsy says this is Cashmere Woods, Vanilla Orchid, Coconut Cream, and Frosted Cacao. I am very intrigued by this. I'm excited to smell this one. It's a very pretty color, kind of a dusty rose pink. Ooh, I really like the top of this. Ooh, this is pretty. I'm almost picking up like a very soft, like rose type scent, I think is coming from the Vanilla Orchid, but it's coming across to my nose, I think with the combination of the Cashmere Woods as a very, very mellow, like perfumey, rosy scent. And this smells like something that I've smelled from Scentsy before. I'll have to think about that, but this one is actually really nice. I don't get a ton of like a chocolate or cocoa cacao note from this. This is mostly, to my nose, like a perfumey cashmere, soft floral with this kind of sweet coziness that I think is coming from like the coconut cream combination. This is very, very pleasant. This is not what I expected at all. I think this would be really nice in like January or February in a bedroom. Ooh, I really like this one. This might also be nice in a scent circle. So to my nose, this is a combination of a very soft, cozy kind of floral cashmere note with a little bit of sweetness from a coconut cream mixed with vanilla. This is very pleasant. I think if you like scents like Cozy Cardigan, you would like this scent. I'll have to think about what scent this reminds me of because it is reminding me of something very specific. So I'll have to think about that, but that is very pleasant. I don't get a lot of cocoa from that. So if that was scaring you and you tend to like cashmere type scents, I would still give Cocoa Cashmere a try. That's really pleasant. Okay, I pulled a few bars that remind me of Cocoa Cashmere just kind of right off the bat. So again, the notes in Cocoa Cashmere are cashmere woods, vanilla orchid, coconut cream, and frosted cacao. I think the scent that this is reminding me the most of is French Kiss. And the notes in French Kiss are sweet fig, coconut pulp, exotic cedar, and caramel. It also reminds me a little bit of Cozy Cashmere. The notes in this are blackberries, amber, and cashmere musk, and then a little bit of Cozy Cardigan. So the notes in this are soft suede, blushing rose, and amber silk. So I think that if you combined the coconut note in French Kiss with the kind of amber and cashmere musk notes of Cozy Cashmere with just a little hint of the blushing rose from Cozy Cardigan, you might get something similar to Cocoa Cashmere. And if you've had a chance to smell this, please let me know what it reminds you of, if it reminds you of anything. All right, Scentsy had been doing some weekly holiday special launches, and I am so excited to smell the bars from these launches. So first up is Sweet Tidings, and I actually got 3 of these because I figured that I would probably like it. I love the name, and Scentsy says this is frosted orange, sparkling winter air, and iced cedarwood. I've heard good things about this one, and it's a very pretty kind of rosy orange color. Ooh, so this is citrus, and like a lot of people have said, this is almost kind of like a bakery citrus. It's almost sort of reminding me of the bakery note that's in like Cutie Pie Cupcake, but a wintry version. So that must be coming from the frosted orange. I don't get a lot of like freshness from this scent. I don't pick up a lot of like a winter air freshness. And I think the cedarwood might be making this feel a little bit deeper than I was expecting. The orange note is a very authentic orange. This almost smells like you just peeled an orange, but then there's something in the background that is leaning a little tiny bit bakery. So I like this scent, but I don't love it as much as I thought I would on cold. I will have to warm it and see what I think, just because that bakery note is poking through a little bit. But this is a very, very authentic orange. And different, you know, from the usual like spiced citrus scents that we tend to get. So this is a little deeper, a little richer, but very interesting, very intriguing. All right, and then from the Merry and Bright launch, I picked up 2 bars of Merry Pomegranate. So Scentsy says this is pomegranate, zesty grapefruit, and hints of pine. I'm excited to smell this one. Ooh, now this is leaning more of like the spiced citrus, spiced fruity scent that I tend to expect from Scentsy around the holidays. This isn't my favorite. I think it's a combination of the grapefruit and pine that is leaning a little acrid to me. Sometimes grapefruit and pine can smell like dirty feet to me. I'm actually picking that up in this. It smells a little bit like that dirty feet, but then there's also this kind of weird, like rubbery scent. It almost smells like an auto repair shop. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I think it's just coming from the bitter grapefruit. Pomegranate is one of those scents that can go either way for me. And this is just leaning a little on the acrid side. So you'll have to tell me what you think of this if you've had a chance to smell this. Now I definitely will try to warm it because those scents could definitely calm down in the warmer. And then this might just be like a bright, fruity, you know, spiced citrus scent. But there's something a little off about that scent to me. All right, and then from the contemporary holiday special, I picked up 2 bars of iced winter mint. So Scentsy says this is peppermint, sugared apple, and frosted spruce. Ooh, okay, I like this one. This is a very nice peppermint. It's leaning a little bit like wintergreen to me on the bottom. And the combination of apple and spruce is very interesting. I was wondering how this would compare to whiteout, and that one is very intense to me. It's kind of like a sinus clearing minty note. This isn't like that. This is very soft and subdued. This is kind of an interesting scent. I've never smelled something like this from Scentsy. The peppermint is nice, it's sweet. It's not too medicinal at all, but the apple note is making this smell a little sweet. The spruce is coming off a little tiny bit masculine to my nose. This mint is smelling a little bit like peppermint, wintergreen. But that is a very, very interesting combination. It's very hard to describe. I do really like the color, and I'm intrigued by that one. So that is iced winter mint. And from the first holiday special, the gingerbread holiday special, I actually missed out on ordering Snowed In Sugar. So that is one that I'll also have to pick up through Club. All right, now to the warmers. So I picked up 3 new warmers and I am very, very excited about all of them. So this first one was a warmer of the month and I am just now getting around to picking it up, but it is the Golden Gourd warmer. When they first announced this on the end of month live, I knew that I wanted to pick it up because a lot of my Thanksgiving decorations are gold and I thought that this gold toned pumpkin would be perfect. Right now, I have the starry pumpkin set up and I think that is probably Scentsy's prettiest pumpkin warmer, but it's very orange and I was wanting something that leaned a little bit more gold. So as soon as I saw this, I knew that I wanted to add it to my Thanksgiving decorations. So it comes with just a plain glass dish and this says 4 cubes. And then we've got the lid pumpkin topper. And this is a very pretty kind of hammered bronze color. So I love that for fall. All right, here it is. So this looks like a 20-watt bulb. And I was a little nervous about this one because I've seen some different variations where some have had a lot of the black grout, but I think this one is pretty well balanced. I thought that these little glass tiles, They look like petals or leaves. They also kind of remind me a little bit of pumpkin seeds. So I thought those were pretty, but I just loved the gold tone. Some of these are a little irregular, like that one or that one, but I think when it's lit up, you won't be able to tell. That is really pretty. All right, I've got this plugged in. Oh, that's pretty. That is really, really pretty. So in the grout, there are these tiny little glass beads that also glow. And I really, really love the tone of this. I think it'll go really well where my starry pumpkin is, and I think it'll really match my Thanksgiving Day decor. So that is really, really pretty. So I'm just getting ready to change out my starry pumpkin warmer for the Golden Gourd, but I just wanted to share how pretty this warmer is. And it's even more stunning in person, but I really think this is one of the prettiest pumpkin warmers Scentsy has done. All right, and here's the Golden Gourd. So definitely a more yellow gold than orange, and that's exactly what I was going for. All right, next up from the All Is Calm holiday special, I picked up the Snowdrop Warmer. This one just looked so sweet and cute and petite, and I love the warmers that kind of look like little snowballs. So I'm very excited to see how this one looks in person. So this dish is very petite, but I love the frosted white look. And this does say 2 cubes of wax. So it is nice and petite. And here's the warmer. Oh yeah, it's smaller than I was even expecting. So this is smaller than the Blue Frost warmer that they brought out last year and then brought back this year. So if you have that one, this is smaller than that. But it is so, so pretty. And this is just a 15-watt warmer. So it does have the mercury glass look inside. And so hopefully that will help it with heat retention. But I've got that bulb in there. And then the really cute little dish. So the camera is making this actually look a lot bigger than it is in person. This is very, very petite and very, very cute. It has these little silvery mercury glass stars. It kind of has a hobnail look, and I am really, really excited to see this one lit up. Oh, that is really pretty. So when it's lit up, you really can't tell that those are stars. They just look like little points of light. And then you get this very, very pretty mercury glass frosted effect as well. So that is just so pretty. I thought it was so cute and elegant for the winter. So I think that I'll probably have this in my bedroom for the winter. Very, very cute. And just for scale, here is the Snowdrop warmer next to the Blue Frost warmer. So these are both 15-watt warmers, but you can tell that the Blue Frost is a little bit bigger. And the Blue Frost dish says 4 cubes and the Snowdrop dish says 2 cubes. And then here they both are next to the classic curve. All right, and then last, but I hope not least, from the contemporary holiday special is the Peppermint Swirl warmer. As soon as I saw the marketing for this, I knew that I wanted to get it. I love anything peppermint or candy cane themed for Christmas. I have a whole little candy cane theme in my kitchen. So I was really, really intrigued by this, and I can't wait to see this in person. All right, so we've got a plain glass dish, and this says 4 cubes. And I'm so excited to see this. Oh my gosh. Ah, it's so cute. Like I said, I love anything with a peppermint swirl. Sign me up. I was a little worried because this is kind of like a hand-blown glass effect. And I was worried that the stripes might be a little irregular. And on the back, you can see that there's a little bit more space between these red stripes. But the good thing about this warmer is it doesn't have a front or back. It has these little knobs for feet. And so you can position the cord any way you want. This side of the warmer looks perfect. And so this is the warmer, or the side of the warmer that I'll have facing forward. And this is a 25-watt warmer, so I think this should be a really good performer. All right, so I've got the bulb in place, and then we'll set the dish on top. I'm so excited to see this lit up. Oh, that is magical. Oh, I love that. So I do see like a tiny little bubble in the glass, but again, I think this is like hand-blown glass, so we can't expect it to be perfect. But I just think this is so, so pretty. This, I think, would fit in a lot of different Christmas decorating themes. So like a candy cane theme. I also thought this would look really cute with like a North Pole theme. So very simple. I love the classic candy stripe. Very, very pretty. I love this. So that is everything that I picked up with this party closeout haul. You'll have to let me know if you've picked up anything from the holiday specials that Scentsy's been launching. That's been a really exciting thing over the past month or so. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.